so difficult for you guys to get to the line tonight?
I don't know. It's been a repeating issue. That overall discrepancy. On the flip side, we've got to do a better job of defending without fouling. Showing our hands, being in the right spots, moving our feet, keep bodies in front. Just really kind of hurts because not only are you giving up 3 points, but you're allowing them to set their defense, and you lose some of your momentum. But it's been an issue the last few games. That overall discrepancy, but also our foul rate, and that's something we can control to a certain extent, but we got to clean that up because it's too many free throws.
When it comes to your own free throw attempts, is there anyone you think that could kind of force the issue, be more aggressive and step up in that regard?
I think everybody can, but you look at it, we had 37 assists, so the ball is moving, so we're generating good offense. It doesn't always have to be a downhill. You're playing through bodies and traffic. I think at times you can get in trouble, but certainly early in the clock, you get a defensive rebound, push. By all means, you should be thinking paint first and then three.
What made DeAndre Hunter tough for you guys tonight?
He got going early, and he just put his head down, and he got biased, got to the paint, got to the rim, and got to the line. So I think that he got a little rhythm, started to shoot into a big basket. He got 17 in the first half, and he was a big spark plug for them. Overall, I thought we did a decent job on Trey outside of the fouls, but hold a guy like that for 60 for 22, had him taking tough shots, and we all know he's going to make some of those, but just overall, Bogdanovich had a little stretch, Hunter obviously had a little stretch, and their bigs, when they killed us on the glass. That's been an issue as well.
Can you speak to how Kyle got others involved tonight? He had the 11 assists, but elaborate a little bit more because you had the 37 assists on 46 made baskets.
Well, that's been the way we've been playing as of late. We have limited shot creation, and that's just a byproduct of who we have. It's not a negative. So we're finding different ways to generate ball movement by moving, cutting, and it's been good for us. So I think that mindset of the ball finds the open man, keep energy in it. And guys are stepping up and making shots. So that's part of the assist part. You can create it, but if you don't knock them down, they don't count. So it's a good sign for us offensively. But we just have to continue that mindset of keep moving the ball, shifting the defense, and then hopefully you crack that seam and allows good things to happen.
Can you also speak to the last play? Kyle had a good look at it, just didn't go down.
Yeah, it wasn't executed perfectly. They took the initial pass away. And with 3 seconds, you have to make something happen. So he read it, he found the opening, and we threw it right back to him. Decent look, it's tough without timeout. That's probably one of the better looks you're going to get. But at that point, it's a Hail Mary, and he didn't go down.
Wes, your team held them to 42% shooting, which is superb, and yet only generated 4 turnovers. Was although the defense did some good things, were they into the ball enough? Were they pressuring enough?
Early on, I would say no. That was evident. They had 68 points in the first half. They played with a level of comfort. I thought we ramped it up a bit in the second half and got that overall number down. But, once again, if you're aggressive, you have to be, physical with the proper technique. Otherwise, it turns into fouls, and we see how that works out. But that's not always going to turn into turnovers. I think you have to pick your spots with the amount of 3-point shooting you have on the floor. You can't live in rotations against this group all night. You take one thing away, obviously something else opens. And, to hold one of the best 3-point shooting teams to 13 made threes doesn't sound like an accomplishment, but, they can add up quickly. So I think just the mix of that, that aggression, but once again, being smart with, our hands and being mindful of how much contact we're delivering.
What can you say?
Rui stayed out there for the entire fourth quarter, but do you see his comfort level increasing out there?
Oh, yeah, to a certain extent, and the one area, and it's not his fault, is, mixing him and Kyle as a 5 offensively. Defensively, no problem. We're switching. Those guys have done a terrific job of keeping, guys in front for the most part, making them grind for tough twos. But, offensively, he's not in that spot a lot. So gives us just a small window, a small package of offense that we can run. We've got to expand that a bit if we're going to continue to use those lineups, whether it's in the meat of the game or close, situations, in the fourth. We like the switch, that he can bring, but offensively, give him something else that we can go to.
What can you say about the consistency of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in a year where you guys have had ups and downs and lots of changes in the rotation?
Well, I mean, it speaks to who he is as a pro. He's played in big moments. He's made big shots for us all season. But that level of consistency is something that we all want to get up to speed with. It'd be nice to have everyone play at that level of consistency, but he works at it. So it's no surprise. He puts in extra time. The shooting before and after practice. So it's not really a surprise that he's earned the right to step up and make big plays in clutch situations.
On KCP, just because he does so much on both ends of the floor, he's handling Trey so much tonight. But are there ways that you guys can say, here's how we're going to try to help you so you don't get overloaded on both ends, or just because the way the roster is configured, you kind of just have to say, like, man, sorry, KCP, it's going to be a tough one tonight.
He knows he's embraced that role as one of our primary defenders, but it's still got to be a collective effort. It's unfair to say one person has got to guard a guy like Trae Young. It's unfair. So we have to do a better job of, being in the shrink spots and showing crowds and, going to hit him and get the ball out of his hands at times, mixing up those coverages. So it's not a steady diet of just one-on-one. But I give him credit. He embraces that role. He does it well, most nights. And that just speaks once again to who he is and, his makeup. He values that side of the ball. It's easy to make shots, but he knows and understands the value of a guy who can guard and the impact that can have on winning.
All right, Coach, I think that's it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Just what do you think made the difference for them tonight?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is we have to learn how to stop, fouling. 34 free throws. I mean, that's the game. You're giving them, a chance at a free 34 points. So, a lot of times it's really just like technique and reaching in or, not fouling at the right time to keep it on the ground. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the biggest thing. Anytime you give a team 3 points and then you don't rebound as well offensively, that's the game. So
Your guys' own free throw attempts, I think, were a problem the other night against Cleveland. And, your top three guys averaging free throws this year are either hurt or gone, like Beal, Spence, and Trez. When the personnel changes, do you guys feel like a responsibility to be more aggressive and try to get more free throw attempts, or like how do you kind of compensate for that?
I mean, shit, it's tough to get free throw attempts. You look at, I had 4. It was really slim pickings, 8 for 9, 9 free throws. Don't even make sense. I mean, it's a story every single night. Not trying to, make excuses, but, people around the league, the referees, they don't respect us. I mean, point blank. And then you see the referees that we get, kind of how it goes, but for us, we have to do a better job of obviously talking to them. And then, just trying to play harder through contact, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Run somebody over. I don't know. I don't know what we got to do to get to the line, though. It's crazy.
Kuz, you guys obviously cut it close at the end there. What did you think overall of kind of the effort tonight?
I mean, I thought the effort was fine for the most part. We just had brain farts. Like I said, fouling guys and then offensive rebounds. A lot of times, even for me, I had probably 2-3 possessions just running under the rim. I mean, like, I can't do that. We can't do that as a team. It just handicaps us. Just those little mental mistakes. Especially they piled up, and then if you have a couple in the fourth, or you have a couple in the third, and it allows that team to get, have a 8 to 10-0 run. I mean, and we're shooting ourselves in the foot every night. So it's just something that we got to continue to grow with, you know.
As disappointing as the loss was, and elements of it were, how pleased are you with the ball movement and the team's overall unselfishness?
I can't say enough since the trade deadline how this team has played offensively. You know, we've done a great job of just playing with one another. Everybody's doing a great job. Nobody's trying to turn the ball over. I mean, obviously mistakes happen, but you know, everyone's trying to make the right play. If somebody's open, they're hitting it. If not, you know, everyone's aggressive. And you know, that's not our issue. You know, some nights we may not score that much, but it's just the little things that we're just giving points to teams for free, essentially.
Ball movement wasn't a problem before the deadline, but what's changed since the deadline to ramp it up to the degree it has?
Well, ball movement was a problem prior to the deadline, you know, clearly. But at the same time, the biggest thing is just guys really liking each other and trying their best to make a play for someone else. And I mean, that's just the biggest thing. Can't complain about it at all. You know, I think we've done a great job. Everyone's trying to do the right thing and share the sugar. So offensively, you know, it's not bad at all. So
Sort of take us through that last play, Kyle, if you would, and what you saw. They had a good look at that last shot.
the half-court shot.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the only shot we had. You know, just hit the top of the rim.
And then did you look more for guys tonight? You had the 22 points, but you also had the 11 assists. You spoke to it. I mean, you guys also had the 37 assists on the 46 made for field goals.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to just do what the, you know, kind of defense allowed me to do. You know, every team come in, you know, they're circled on me and they understand how I've been playing. And, you know, I'm always trying to be aggressive to find my own shot. But, you know, when the right play is there, when my teammates is open, I got to throw the ball. You know, that's my obligation as someone that's handling the ball. And everyone trusts me to make those decisions. So, you know, just trying to make the right basketball play every time.
How different, Kyle, is the attention defenses are they keying on you much more than they were, say, 3-4 weeks ago?
I mean, yeah, for sure, because, you know, I've been playing at a certain type of level for, you know, 3 months. So, you know, getting the number one defender every night, and then, you know, whether the team's doubling or blitzing or doing whatnot, and I don't mind it. You know, I actually love it because I have a teammate that's going to be open every time. We're going to play 5-on-4. So I think that's also a big part of, you know, when you talk about our ball movement, how we're getting easy shots, is because for me having a lot of attention, I'm just trying to find guys and make it easy for everybody else, and just so our offense isn't hard. So.
All right, last question to Neil.
Hey, Kuz, maybe I'm reading a little bit too much into it, but were you stretching out your back when you just sat down?
Yeah, I was stretching my back. Yeah.
I guess everything okay there, just kind of general soreness?
Yeah, I'm all right. You know, we're about almost 70 games in, so it's how it is sometimes. March, you know.
And when you talk about like just reaching in, kind of not playing the right kind of defense, is that just kind of indicative of a lot of young players in the rotation?
Yeah, I do think it's to a certain extent, you know, because you know, everyone's made great improvements, you know, but at the same time, it's just all about understanding how the game is being officiated and what refs are looking at. If you have your hands on somebody, they're going to call it. If somebody's driving and you don't get off the ground when they're in the ground, I mean, it's going to be a blocking foul. So it's just those little things that we have to understand and we have to just dial into, because, you know, like I said, Trae Young was 6 for 22 tonight, but 10 for 11 from the free throw line. Like, that can happen. DeAndre Hunter, 7 for 7. Like, we were just giving teams points, you know, and I get it. Sometimes, like, you might have to foul, or it might, you know, the ref just may call, whatever. But we got to take it upon ourselves to do a better job of not fouling. And I think, you know, we wouldn't be bleeding so many points if we're not
Thanks,
getting to the line. So,
Thanks, Kuz.
All right, Kuz, appreciate you.
One-on-one a lot with Trae Young, and then you have to go out on the other end and produce on the offensive end like you did. How do you kind of approach a game like tonight? I know you do it all the time, but can you take us through it?
I mean, saying is like if you're ready, you don't have to get ready. I mean, I would say. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I feel like, but you know, just finding like, you know, for me, you know, I play hard on defense, you know, regardless of who I'm guarding, or whatever the matchups is. But it's just for me, I just find them little quick little moments where I can catch a breather, or I can relax a little bit and not, you know, move as much, you know, waste energy, and then go on the offensive end and just, you know, try to use that energy that I just saved and try to score the ball. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes I'm working hard on both ends of the floor, and it's just, you know, shots are just falling. You know, it just feels good when when you see it go through like that.
We asked Kuz and Wes the same thing, but why do you feel like you guys are having a little problem getting to the line lately?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Refs don't see them. I mean, I feel like they see all the fouls that happens. I feel like they're just not calling them enough. You know, we are getting fouled, you know, and they are blankly, like, you can see the fouls, you know, and I don't know why we're not getting them. And sometimes it's frustrating, you know, and that's what we, you know, I feel like we got to do better and, you know, try to selling it, or, you know, yelling or whatever we got to do to try to get them calls. You know, there's no way we 39 free throws to 9, you know, so that don't make any sense to me.
You've been one of the most consistent players on the team all year, and you know, obviously there've been ups and downs and a lot of changes to the rotation. What do you attribute that to?
Again, what's the question? The last one.
I guess just the way you've been able to kind of be consistently the same player all year, despite a lot of changes happening around you in the rotation.
I mean, just, you know, we practice every day. You know, lineups and practice change. You know, and it just all about just knowing who you're playing with. You know, I feel like I have a feel for most of my teammates that I'm on the floor with at the time. And even when guys subs in, you know, it's just, you know, simple basketball to me. You know, if I ain't got a shot, make the pass. You know, just keep the ball moving. I feel like once we playing like that together, you know, everything is connected. You know, it don't matter who's on the floor. You know, if we don't have a relationship on the floor, not if the ball is moving. You know, it's energy in that basketball, and you know, it connects everyone together.
You know Kyle probably better than anybody on the team. What do you make of his emergence or progression this season?
I mean, he's progressed a lot. I mean, I see. But I've been knowing Kuz, like you said, since he got drafted in the league. And he's always had that game that, you know, y'all are seeing now. You know, it's just like I was saying, you know, it's opportunities. You know, he have an opportunity, you know, to be himself, you know, and score the ball. You know, he's a scorer. You know, he just got to slow down a little bit, you know, on certain things. But you know, we need that. You know, he's a scorer, and he can get buckets.
Do you see any difference in the way? I'll use the word leadership, but how much do you see him kind of taking some of the younger guys under his wing a little bit, like a Corey, like a?
I see it a lot. You know, that's one area he's getting better at. You know, and I always say, you know, it's not how you not what you say, is, you know, how you say it. You know, and he's learning that. You know, he's, you know, being encouraging. You know, not trying to knock his teammates down. You know, picking them up even when their teammates are having bad games. Just trying to stay in keep everybody, level headed, keep everybody up, and keep the energy going. And he's been doing that practice and in games.
Shooting 85% of the last 5 games.
God damn. I mean, we them corners, we know he loved the corners, and we look for him when we know he's on the floor, and he don't like to shoot many threes, but he be open a lot and he be knocking them down. So when we try to tell him to shoot, keep shooting, he don't want to hear that, but he's been consistent, with just taking his shots, and playing his game, and that's all we ask for.
As you said earlier, you've been doing this a long time. At this point in the season, 3/4 of the way through, how are you doing physically in terms of considering all that's being asked of you on both ends?
I feel great. This is my routine, I take care of my body, after games, after practice, before practice. Just as long as I stay consistent with my treatment, making sure my body is ready to go when it's time. I feel like I'm gonna be great. I feel amazing. I feel like it's postseason legs, I guess. I don't know. I feel great, and it's hard to explain, I would say.
When it comes to wanting Rui to shoot more, is that a common thing that you've seen before where young players are shooting a good percentage and veterans got to say, hey, man, we need you to shoot more?
Yeah. It's just, I feel like they don't think they're open, I would say, or they're thinking too much, when they are open. Something I tell Corey a lot, even when he told me one time, my first 3 options should be shoot, shoot, shoot. So I told him the same thing when you have a bad shooting. Now I was like, what's your first 3 options? Shoot, shoot, shoot. So it's, we always encourage each other, to shoot the ball, when we open. We don't want to take, contested shot, that drops the percentage, but we want to take our open shots when we open.
Neil.
Hey, KCP, I know, you'd probably much rather have the win, but I think you were 6 for 6 from deep. I think that's, the most makes that you've had without missing in your career. Was there anything in particular that you had going tonight?
The basket was just big as the sea. I would say, nah. But just being consistent with just shooting. I shoot every day at practice, sometimes after practice, sometimes, late at night, I'm getting in the gym shooting, just repetition and, just continue to stay in that rhythm, no matter how I'm getting that rhythm, just keep tending to shoot the ball.
Thanks, KCP.
Last question to Christos.
Hey, KCP, hope you're doing well. Where do you feel you are defensive wise at this stage of the season?
I feel like my defense is at a high level. It's things I can improve, as always. There's always things you can improve on, but I feel like my defense is at a high level. My legs feel good. My body, is holding up. I feel like it's at a high level.
And with 19 games away from until the end of the regular season, how important is to make a bigger push right now? What do you need to do to make a bigger push as a team?
First of all, we got to finish games. That's been our biggest thing right now is finishing out game. We got to be able to defend without fouling. It's most of it is on us. And just continue to knock down shots on the offensive end. I feel like our defense is where we got to improve the most. We give up a lot of offensive rebound, a lot of points in the paint. So we all got to take pride in just defending our man and trying to get them stops.
Thank you very much.
All right, KCP, appreciate you.
All right, thank you.